Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Darren Tang, and today I'm going to be doing a tier list for you guys, ranking the bowling balls from Storm, Rotogrip, and 900 Global in the year 2022. We've had a handful of releases that have been really good, thrown a lot so far. I don't always throw them all. So let's get into explaining the categories that we have today. At the top, we have the nut category. And if you've been watching our videos for a long time, you know what these balls are. They're the nut. When you nut a shot, you know. You split the 8-9, you drive that 5-pin straight back. The nut. When it comes to bowling balls, they're balls that we throw a lot. We throw all the time. Very versatile for the most part. Just balls that make us say wow. Moving on to the second category, we have the rice bowl. Rice is a staple in my culture's cuisine. One of my favorite things to have. It's a staple. The rice bowl category, those are the staples. We have to have them in the bag when we go to tournaments. They're not quite the nut, but they're balls that you feel like you got to bring with you no matter what. In the third category, we have the thumbs up. Those are the balls that are pretty good. Feel like you got to have them. Every so often you bring them, but you don't bring them all the time. In our fourth category, we have the car. These are balls that may not be within those first 6 balls that you bring into the bowling center because you only have so many hands, but they are in the car and they're there if you need them, because it's better to have them and not need them than need them and not have them. Now, in the last category, you'll see a pair of eyeballs, because this is the category where I haven't thrown the balls, but I've seen them go down the lane. I've seen them in videos. Pretty cut, dry, and simple. I haven't thrown the ball, so I can't give my opinion to the fullest. I don't know if any bowling balls fall in that category today, but we're going to see. Please subscribe. It really would mean a lot because we are trying to hit 100,000 subscribers by December 31st, 2022. And if we do that, we're going to give away 100 bowling balls across all platforms. Not only YouTube, Instagram, Patreon. There's a lot of them, you name it. The links should be in the description below. Let's get started. It's not a hot start because we're starting with a bowling ball that I have not thrown yet, so I kind of have to throw it in the eyeball category. It's the Electrify Go. I actually have this ball. At the time that the video goes up, I may have drilled it, but as of right now, when I'm filming this video, it has no holes. So I'm not going to say a whole lot about it. There may be a ball review though. Okay, moving on. We got back-to-back low-end bowling balls. We have the Hustle USA, and I personally am a fan of the Hustle series. The Hustle Ink was my favorite one, so I drilled it the same, and it doesn't quite roll like my ink. I felt like the ink spun faster, which doesn't make any sense because they should have the same core, but it's one that I would bring to tournaments. It's kind of niche for me. I could see it getting play for sure. If they're kind of flat or they're flying down lane, this one would be a decent option, but it's definitely not going to be a ball that I go into the building with initially. So into the cart goes. All right, next we have the Idle Cosmos. I've drilled a couple of these. We did do a video on this one. Colors, phenomenal. It fits a weird spot because I feel like we have a lot of really good bowling balls. I still throw phase 2 a lot. We have the Zen. We have, just so many options in that middle range that this one feels really specific. The first one I drilled, low diff, kind of pinned down, very, very smooth. The second one I drilled it pin up. I actually like the way it's shaped a lot better. So I would definitely give this one the thumbs up. It can go into the building, it could go in the car, but I feel like if I have it with me, it's probably going inside. Thumbs up for me. Now, moving on, we have another ball. It came out actually at the same time as the Cosmos, the Infinite Physics. Now, this is another one, kind of almost exactly the same situation as the Cosmos. I really like the UFO Alert. I really like the Ultra Reality, which we can still throw at almost every event. There's 4 tournaments I can't throw these bowling balls at. If I can't throw those, maybe I throw Infinite Physics. I've liked most of the Physics line. This one, it's has a hard time fitting in my bag because of all the other asymmetric balls around that spot that have been really good for me. So I'm going to put this in the thumbs up category as well. I haven't thrown it a ton, but I feel like I'm going to throw it a little more moving forward now that we're talking about it. Moving on, we have the younger sibling to the Infinite Physics. It's the same cover, different core, a core that we all know and love. We have the Night Road, and I did bowl 300 in League, my first one in this league, the Double Trouble League, Season 3. Link to this video is up here somewhere. I will put this, I can't put it in the nut category because I just haven't thrown it enough. So it's gonna go in the rice bowl category. I haven't thrown a high road pro in a long time, so this ball is fitting that spot. It's a little stronger cover wise. I do like it so far, especially because I bowled 300. There we go, rice bowl, staple number 1 for the video, Night Road. Here we go, we have the Storm Nova, came out early release. Not a ball that I have found a lot of success with. I've seen a lot of good ones. This one just doesn't roll the best for me. Like previous tier list videos, I want to know what you guys think about the bowling balls that I wasn't a fan of. Maybe layouts, surfaces, let me know. So for me, the Nova would go in the car. It's just a different shape that my eye doesn't really see that well. It doesn't fit my eye, but there are going to be times where, balls that I like to see aren't matching up very good. So maybe a Nova could be the answer on tour. Now moving on, we have actually 2 balls that are Very, very similar. The Phase 4 was the most anticipated release, I think, that Storm has ever had. Smells like root beer, visually appealing, great looking ball. It just didn't quite roll in the spot that I would have liked to see it. Just from looking at the lanes, my eyes didn't love what it saw. It was close, but not quite it. So for me, that's a thumbs up ball. I like the way it smells. I like the way it looks. I like a lot of things about it. It just wasn't quite there for me. But this next ball, it's the same exact ball, just a different color, I think. The only difference, 1500 grit polish versus Reactagloss. I don't really know what the difference is. The Phase 5 for me, I think is a staple. I can't put it in the nut category yet just because I haven't thrown it a lot, but I threw it in League against the Phase 4, and it was the difference that I was looking for. So I'm hoping when I throw this in tournaments, it's gonna do what the Phase 4 didn't quite do for me. And that'll be my new Pearl symmetric go-to piece when I think I need something like that. So Phase 5, I think very good. Let me know what you guys think about that ball in the comment section below because I want to know. All right, moving on. We have the reality check. Now, I'm a big reality guy. I love the original, the Ultra Reality. Obviously, I talked about it earlier in the video. I like that one a lot too. Still throw it. The reality check kind of fits right in between. It's pretty smooth for me. Not quite as early as the reality. Hybrids are tricky for me. I'm going to put this in the thumbs up category because for me, hybrid balls, either I throw them all the time, like all kinds of distance, short, medium, long. I throw them like no matter what, I love them. Or I just kind of throw what I like throwing around that, you know, the solid counterpart, the pearl counterpart. So right now I haven't thrown the reality check a ton. I love the way it rolls. I just haven't thrown it a whole lot. So that's the only reason why it's in the thumbs up category, not the staple, because I just haven't found the spot to throw this ball. Now moving on to the X3 ball hooks. Mine's got a lower flaring layout, which means less hook, and this thing's still hooked. And that's kind of been the consensus among a lot of us. So another thumbs up ball for me. It's not quite a staple because it's another one of those hybrid balls that is very niche. So it's you know, you drill it, you love it, cool. You don't, now you just kind of have to figure out where you're gonna throw it. At least for a player like me that drills a lot of bowling balls, it's kind of hard to figure out where the ball fits. If you guys aren't sure, but you're interested in these bowling balls, just check out our ball videos on the channel. Hopefully those give you enough information to make an educated purchase because we don't want you buying bowling balls that you're not gonna like or don't fit what you're looking for. Okay, moving on, we have the very, very illegal Spectre. It's not allowed in any kind of sanction play now, but it came out this year, so we're going to talk about it. This one for me was a thumbs up ball, was not quite the rice bowl, partially and mostly because I threw the Wolverine more, and I just didn't throw this one as much. So, how much do we really want to talk about an illegal bowling ball? Yeah, we're gonna move on. This next ball is gonna surprise you a lot. Now, I'm gonna have different kinds of nuts. I really like this ball, and this one, for me, I think is the nut. I think it's a great league ball for guys that are more forward with their hand because of the weaker cover stock. Like we talked about, it is a solid, but it's a weaker cover, it's a weaker ball. So it allows the guys with the higher rev rates that are more forward, that play the front part of the lane, to stay further right, because usually the guys that can create hook bowl bad in League because they get forced too far left, they get into the cliff, and then they got that over under, you miss left, you 2-8-10, you miss right, you go high, and it's just really irritating. This ball lets me stay further to the right. I can roll it. If I get it into the soup, I'm far enough right so my angles aren't super big, so it still wants to hit the pocket. And then if I throw it to the right quick, because it's solid and it's not really super strong off the spot, it blends off it. For whatever reason, I really like this ball. It's the nut. Okay, now we have the Supernova, the solid counterpart to the original Nova. I did like this one a lot better. I haven't really thrown it a ton in the field, just practice, just the ball video, but I feel like it actually shapes more for me, even though it's a solid. This is our Proton Physics, basically replacement. Kind of. It's the same cover, different core. For me, this one's in the thumbs up category as well. Not a staple purely because I just haven't thrown it enough. I guess I need to start throwing new bowling balls more often. Okay, now we are moving into the Tropical Surge. And this is only in here because of Mikey. Mikey was originally supposed to be in this video. If you guys want to see him in a tier list video, let me know. He will be coming back, so maybe we can shoot something. This one is for you, Mikey. He put it in the nut category, basically for the same reason I put the Hype Solid in the nut category. I know this list looks ridiculous, but this is a subjective list, so bear with me. Tropical Surge, weaker ball, lets the heavy-handed, higher rev rate, more forward guys play straighter when they're easier. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about as far as these technical bowling terms, you can check me out on Twitch, ask me questions, I will answer them to the best of my abilities every time. So links are in the description below. Wolverine Dark Moss, reskin of the Wolverine. Literally the same ball, just a different color. I think it's a staple in the bag. It just has those numbers that we need, that we've been kind of missing. The Wolverine was really good for me. The Dark Moss, I feel, is just a little more off of it. I think it's a little stronger, but it's the same ball, same core. Staple in the bag for me, just a different shape. Something that we've needed for a long time, and we have it. Moving on, we have the Zen Soul. And this one, even talking to Chris Vi, he says this is the closest thing to a phase 2 you're gonna get. Is it as good as a phase 2? That's a tough call. Chris doesn't even throw phase 2s anymore. He throws the Zen Soul, so it couldn't be that far off, right? Even when it first came out, I was comparing it to the phase 2, and this was the closest thing. It's a little cleaner because it's a hybrid. When you start getting into bowling balls that are more similar, that's when you can start to look at solid, hybrid, pearl, and that's what's going to separate them a little more. But in terms of strength of cover stocks, I want you guys to focus on that first when you're talking about how to fit your bag. This one's a thumbs up for me. I haven't thrown it a ton, just hasn't seen the field very much because I'm a big phase 2 guy. I throw phase 2 a lot. That's the only reason why it's not in the stable category for me. And finally, we have the Gem. And when I went through this with Mikey, he said it was an instant nut. N-U-T, 3 letters, G-E-M, 3 letters, Gem, nut. This is a ball that shapes pretty well for how strong it is. Normally, when you're moving left with these bigger bowling balls, generally speaking, they're burning up so much when the lanes start to transition that they don't want to make the corner. They don't want to shape very enough. Flat 10 City. This ball just shapes a little more than the other ones. So for me, I usually carry a pin down Reality, which I think is weaker than the Gem, but it is a little smoother, in my opinion. If I start moving left, I have my pin-up gems that I can hook the lane a little more with. If I'm trying to play, if they're a little flatter and I want to roll it more and need something a little smoother, it's gonna be Reality. The Gem, I agree, it's pretty good. It's the nut. I've only drilled one, but that one was really good. I have no idea if this is how the list was the first 2 times I did it, but this is what we got. We have our category set. More often than not, we got balls in the thumbs up category because kind of a tough critic when it comes to a lot of things, especially my food and sushi. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit that like button because that tells us that you guys enjoy tier list videos. If you have any other ideas for tier lists, let us know in the comments below as well. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because we are doing a big giveaway next year, hopefully. We appreciate you watching. Thanks for your support, and I'll see you in the next one.